Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and I've made a new pick a card read for you. This one is a full tarot love spread, a full Celtic cross love spread. Find out what's going on in your love life. Now, I've made 3 readings here, the crystal, the flower and the shell. Each one of them has got a deeper dive to it. That's an extended reading that goes with it. It's a timeless reading. Whenever you get into it is good. If you want that extended reading toward the end of these readings, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So what you need to do now is choose which one do you want. Now I'm having a prize draw for a free reading with me twice a month now, at the end of each month, for 2 draws. First way to win is by being a subscriber to my YouTube channel, clicking like on this video and leaving a comment. You can do that as many times as you want within a month, and that'll get you so many entries. And the other way is getting the deeper dive to these pick a card reads as well. So take your pick now. Which one would you like? Would you like the crystal? And the crystal is out with the 2 of Swords, the card of indecision. Or would you like the flower? And the flower is out with the 10 of Inspiration, about putting burdens down, something that's been burdensome to you. Or would you like the shell? And the shell is out with the Hierophant card, all about long-term relationships, commitment. So take your pick now, and don't forget to click like on this video down there, leaving a comment, and click on the subscribe button if you're new. I do a daily energy update every single day of the year on my YouTube channel. I also go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show. Now I give one question readings in there. You can book in for those on my website, BeHealing.com. There's a link in the description box below, and also one up there too. And I will do your reading right at the start of the next live show, and then send you the link to the replay so you can watch it back. So you don't need to come live if you don't want to. Alternatively, you can come live and book while I'm live too. You'll find the next show laying in wait on my YouTube channel by clicking Be Healing down there. I also offer private readings as well from my website, BeHealing.com. You can find a link for that in the description box below, and also on up there too. I get those out within 48 hours if you're ordering them. And if you've got questions for your reading, just click on the Contact Us page on my website after you've booked in for your reading. And I make 3 of these love pick a card reads here as well. If you want them to be about different subjects, let me know in the comments below, and I can do that for you. So, crystal, flower or shell, which is it? I'll see you in your reading. So if you chose the crystal along with the Lightseers Tarot, let's find out what's going on in your love life. This one's for you. So I'm going to give you a full Celtic Cross Tarot love spread here, find out what's going on. And as usual, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get straight on with your reading. Find out what this is all about. It's about the 2 of Swords. So you've got a decision to make, have you? And you're unsure of what you should decide. Oh, this could be anything so far. So yeah, it could be that someone's come into your life and you're not sure whether to go out with them or to pursue this. It could be somebody coming back from the past and you're not sure. I don't know yet. I don't know what this is about, but you've obviously got a decision and you're not sure about it. Hence coming to a reading, right? So what's crossing you in this? Death and rebirth and the Ace of Swords. Okay. Death and rebirth. The Death card is about death and rebirth. So that's significant change in your life. Now, it could be that you've changed significantly and you change your mind about the way that you're going about your love life. The decisions that you're making, perhaps because you've learned about patterns that you've been in, because this Ace of Swords is very much like a new start, but coming logically. So you've thought things through. This is individually. You've thought things through about yourself and what it is that you want in life, what you're choosing, what you're not choosing, what you're going to do in relationships, what you're not going to do in relationships anymore, that kind of thing. And so there's a clarity in this Ace of Swords. It's the aha card, but it's more than an aha about yourself. It's more like, I've got total clarity on myself now, and so now I can move forward into the kind of relationships that I do want. And this death and rebirth, so this is significant. This is a significant change. Perhaps you've been in the similar patterns, similar relationship patterns all your life until this point, or fairly recently, where you've got this like clarity about yourself. So this is what's holding you back, right? This is what's crossing you. So you've got this clarity, and then what happens, the universe brings someone in, or it could bring some more of the old, or it could bring someone back from the past. You know, it could be somebody new, but it could be more of the same, to see like if you really, it's not really to test you and to see if you're going to make the same mistake again. It's because when we're manifesting things, it takes a while for our energy to manifest. And so there's a bit of a time delay. So your past energy is kind of still manifesting. We don't have like instant turnaround, you know, as soon as you feel happy, you don't suddenly that moment start manifesting really good stuff. And the moment that you're not in a great mood, it all kind of goes wrong, you know. It takes a while. It can take like 3-6 months. It just depends on how long we've been holding these energies for. So I think what this is saying is kind of be careful, because this is great energy. I really like this energy. This is total clarity and like, I'm changing things now. I'm going to do things differently. But your past energy could be coming through still. So let's find out more about this. See if I can get specific about it for you. How do things look on the surface of it in your love life right now? How are things on the surface? Page of Cups. Page of Cups to me in love readings is very much the card of limerence. It's the fantasy. It's the, oh my God, they've met somebody and they're perfect. And, you know, we'll be so happy together. And, you know, it's that pages are right at the start of something, but it's that pigs are flying and it's all perfect. And the card of limerence. Limerence gone too far kind of thing when you start making up stories. So you could have somebody new coming into your life at the moment, and that's what you're not sure about. Is this more of the same or not? How do things appear on the underneath that? Very tempting, isn't it? Because we like that feeling. That feeling of limerence is really nice, and we kind of get high off it. We feed it, and we fantasize, and we go into the daydreams and all of that kind of thing, and it makes us feel really good. I could argue that it might be even better than reality. You know, it's like a romantic movie, better than reality, right? And that feeling of limerence, when we indulge that within ourselves, is better than reality. What's really behind that? What's really behind this limerence kind of fantasy? Oh, Seven of Swords and Strength. Okay. This is you being strong. Seven of Swords is about self-delusion. This is you being strong in the face of self-delusion. So I think what we've got on our hands here is a very limerent person. I think you're a limerent person and prone to falling in love fast, falling in love with a fantasy kind of thing fast. And you're not sure whether to go for it or not, because you're not sure whether you're doing the same thing again. It appears on the surface that you are. But perhaps the reason that you're undecided is because you know that, right? You know your limerent self, and so you are being strong not to delude yourself this time. Now, does that mean that you're going on the opposite direction and being overly pessimistic? Or are you being real with this? I think that's the tricky part about us realizing, I don't think we can come out of limerence, but us realizing that we do that and that it doesn't work for us. It kind of gets us into the wrong relationships, or allows us to continue on with the wrong relationships, let's put it that way, when we should be ending. So finding that balance, when we've been a certain extreme and then we realize, and this isn't anything in life, when we've been a certain extreme and we realize we haven't been balanced, often it's because we are resisting another extreme that we've experienced. Perhaps we had an ex that was the other extreme, or a parent that was the other extreme, and we really didn't like that, so we went to the other extreme. And then once we realize that we're at the other extreme and that balance is always best, finding that balance can be tricky. We can do that whole roller coaster thing one way and the other. And so you might find, if you used to be fully limerent like this and falling in love with the fantasy of somebody, then you get overly pessimistic about people until you find that real I'm optimistic about people, but I'm also seeing what's there as well, you know. Past, what's the recent past energies for you guys? Four of Cups, disappointments. Disappointments, like waiting for the one to come in, that special one that's going to be right for you. The one that matches up to the limerent dreams that you have, you know, that idea. Yeah, Four of Cups is like you might have been getting offers, but nothing that you would like really like. What's coming in the near future? Near future energies. Ten of Wands, putting the burdens down. Interesting. So putting burdens down. This could be, you could be overthinking all of this. In fact, you could, you know, when we're going through some kind of a healing journey in our lives. So as I said, you might have experienced an extreme in the past and then you'll be in the other extreme and then something wakes you up to that and it's like, oh, I'm in extreme here. I need to heal. There's something to heal. There's something emotional going on in me that is causing this. I need to heal that and find that balance. And sometimes when we're in that, we focus on it. We hyper focus on it so much. We're really good at the inner work, right? We enjoy doing that. So we hyper focus on it so much that sometimes we just don't let that go and relax and presume that we've found that balance. Sometimes we can, like a dog holding on to a rope kind of thing, be too tenacious in it. You know, the dog wants to play the ball or play with that rope, but the dog can't let it go to even play. There's a burden here to put down in the near future. And perhaps you're thinking about this too much. So this reading is about Two of Swords, about a choice that you need to make. What else is it about? You're thinking too much. There you go. I just said it before I picked the card out. It's anxiety, but it's brought about, Nine of Swords, by thinking too much, overthinking this. So there's a point where we need to think about things to gain clarity on ourselves, and then there's a point where we take that too far, when we're really trying to figure it out. When we keep on trying to figure it out, when we're telling ourselves, what am I doing wrong here? Why am I not into that relationship that I really want yet? Well, perhaps it's just that they haven't shown up yet. Perhaps you've drawn a line in the sand now and you know what you're looking for and you know what you want. And you know yourself and you know the patterns and you have made these big changes. And from this point onwards, then when somebody comes into your life that is that match, then you'll move forward with that. But it is a matter of timing. It's not like I said, we don't get instant manifestations. We don't just change our energy, have an aha, and then someone shows up straight away. If you think about it, you might have had perhaps one person a year come in front of you into your life in some kind of way, some kind of a link with someone that could have been right for you. But while you've been in patterns that haven't been conducive to that, then you haven't got together with them, or it hasn't worked out. And now it's a matter of, once you're ready for it and you've cleared those things out, waiting for that next one to come along that is a match to you. So yeah, there's definite need here with this Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords coming out to stop stressing about this so much, stop overthinking it, stop trying to manifest it. That's what it is, it's stop trying to manifest it. So what are your fears? Fears. Crystal's fears. The Chariot. This is being pulled in two directions. It's not knowing, it's you're veering, going down that same track again that you've been down before. And also going in a new direction too. Being pulled in a new direction into the unknown, into a kind of relationship that you haven't experienced yourself like that in a relationship. So the newness can be scary, into the unknown, into an unknown kind of relationship. It can be scary. You know, we don't do things the way that we did before. I know when I was young growing up, I was around a lot of people that would kind of make everything a problem, an argument, and, you know, just battles all the time. And I thought that this way relationships were. And I remember trying to do the same thing, being like that when I was younger, and other people, of course, pulling back from that, as you would. And me figuring out then, it's like, oh no, I've got love all wrong. It's like the way that my family did it is not love. How that can be in other relationships. And when I got into relationships, it was all unknown to me. When I got into kind of good relationships with people that could communicate emotionally and all of that, that was totally unknown to me. Totally unknown to me. I was like a fish out of water, and I had to learn that, right? I had to learn that whole way of being. And so there's like progressions like this where the unknown is scary. Two of Wands, you're also fearing decisions, actually acting on it. So I think this has got something to do with the limerence here, is that if you choose someone, what if it's the wrong person, because you know that you're going to get in deep, right? Well, I think we need to just experience relationships, because there could be another lesson for you in it, which is good because you get to know yourself even more. But it could work out right for you. Either way, you're going to be learning. What are your hopes? The Ten of Swords, to put all the pain behind in the past, to not experience that again. All the pain that you've been through. I mean, you've got 2 tens now and the Death and Rebirth card. So I think you're in a very significant changing point in your life. But just as we are about to kind of go over that crest into a new life, can be really scary, right? What else are your hopes? Hopes for crystals. Star, that your wishes come true. So there's hope. You're kind of hoping for hope here. That is hope itself. Hoping that the pain is all over too. You hope that it's time now. You hope that you've gone through all of those relationship lessons, that the next one will be it. Or the one that's in front of you at the moment. Could be. So let's get your outcome cards out. I'll be revealing the first outcome card to you in this reading, but the rest of them, because I'm going to get a progression of them out, will be revealed in that deeper dive read, that extended reading. I'll also be getting cards out of the decks back there as well on these shelves for your, deeper dive read, to find out, to get advice for you, but also find out from your person who's coming. We'll see if there's someone here already. We'll get a timing out as well if that's applicable. And yeah, mostly guidance, I think, for you. Some kind of future forward facing information, I think, to give you hope and, see where you're headed next. So let's get your outcome cards out. I've got 3 out at the moment. I just want to get a few more out. And then what? There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, I love this. This is a really good story coming up here. Okay. So you have 6 outcome cards there. The first one is, unsurprisingly, another 2, the 2 of Pentacles. You're in choice mode at the moment. And this is about weighing up your options and finding a balance more than anything. And so the first thing in your outcome is finding a balance within yourself. Now that could be balance of letting go and having clarity too. Because this reading is saying, you've got a lot of swords here, saying perhaps you're overthinking it. And perhaps now it's time to let go a little bit more and trust the universe and take that next step, But yeah, finding a balance and kind of making a choice, weighing up your options, says the 2 of Pentacles. So if that sounds like it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that deeper dive to find out what these cards are, because it's a really interesting story, this. It's going to get a lot of clarity by the progression forward from this. And as I said, I'll be getting cards out, and we'll find out who's coming as well from these cards back here. So if you're interested in that, then I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the crystal on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, then just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like. Before you click off down there, click that subscribe button if you're new. Don't forget to leave a comment. It'll get you entered into that prize draw for a private reading with me. And if you've got any one question readings specific to your situation, you can book in for one of those one question readings with me on my website, behealing.com as well. And so if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. And if you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I will see you in there very shortly. So if you chose the flower along with the Muse Tarot, then this one's for you. Flowers, let's give you a full Celtic Cross love spread. Find out what's going on in your love life. Now, as usual, flowers, is going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get straight into your reading and find out what this is all about then. Ten of Inspiration. This is about putting burdens down, but it's about endings, and endings always lead to new beginnings. Now, it feels to me like you've been burdened with an idea, is what I just thought. So, the idea of someone, it's about letting go of something. Hang on, I'm just tuning into the energies. So, you had an idea about someone, perhaps you were focused on someone, thinking that something was going to come about with someone, and that was kind of a burden to you. You were carrying that, even though it kind of wasn't happening. And the Ten of Inspiration is putting those burdens down. It's not a giving up, but it's like a release of carrying that energy. And it's a thought, an idea, is what I'm getting. So you had an idea about someone. So perhaps you were interested in someone, or you had an idea that was someone was coming back or something like that. And that became more and more burdensome to you as it wasn't happening. And it appears like this reading is about you letting go of that burden, that burdensome idea. It feels like you've already done that to me, or you're just doing that at the moment. It's a very recent thing. So what's hindering you in this letting go? Oh, he's still holding hope for it. Okay. So still holding hope for it. It's the unknown. So you still think it might happen, the Knight of Inspiration, that they're going to come in. Okay, so you kind of let this go, but not completely is what this is saying. Still holding a bit of hope for it. Still thinking it's unknown, well, it still could happen kind of thing, that they could come rushing in. But this Knight of Inspiration is about passion more than anything else. You think that they might be coming back for some passion. So I think you guys are trying to move on from someone here, put the burdens down of the idea that you've got about them, but it's still holding hope. Perhaps still holding hope that they're going to change. Now, that's dangerous, because you could be waiting forever. I mean, do people change that much? Not really, not unless they find that reason to change within them. If someone doesn't have a reason to change within them, if they've not instigated that within them, very unlikely that they're going to change. Even if you think that you know, like, how best they could change. Even if you think that you know what would be best for them, isn't necessarily what will actually be best for them or on their path. Remember, that path isn't always about like healing in the way that you want them to heal so that it'll be good for you. It's more about finding out about themselves and following their own path. And that happens generally through lessons that other people don't agree with, because we've got to make our own mistakes in order to learn about ourselves, right? We're never here for the easy path. And if you're thinking someone like it would be just so easy if they just fix that thing in themselves or change that things in themselves, then it would be easy for me. Not necessarily easy for your other person though. So how do things appear on the surface of it right now? So yeah, I think this is about letting go of the idea that someone's going to change. You don't want to waste your life like that. You've got this one life. Don't waste it don't waste your heart and all your love and all the great things that you could be doing in life and with other people and the relationships that you could have, waiting for someone that isn't changing. So how it appears on the face of it is Queen of Voices. So like you've drawn up a boundary here. So it appears on the face of it that you've drawn up a boundary to this person. So you're in the letting go process, huh, you guys? What's really behind that? It appears that you've drawn up a boundary. What's really behind that? Happiness. So you're choosing your happiness, but the Six of Voices, so the universe is helping you out. Oh, helping you move. Yeah. Helping you move from this painful ending to Eight of Materials, to you receiving back for the energy that you put into things. So the universe is trying to move you from these painful endings to your happiness, to actually receiving back as much as you give in relationships. Now that to me is telling me that the relationship that you've been focused on that's been so burdensome to you was not a match to you, wasn't at your level. It was down there compared to you. And so you guys, you haven't been realizing that this one could never, is just unable to ever give you the relationship that you deserve here. The amount that they can put into a relationship isn't the same amount as you can put into a relationship. They're not a match to you. They would never be able to reciprocate what it is that you want. You are asking for too little in that relationship. So even if it had worked, you would have got too little from them and it wouldn't have lasted. So recent past energies, strength. You've been gaining strength. That's really good. So you've been getting stronger and stronger within yourself, getting more and more clear. We see that with the Queen of Voices. So you have drawn up some kind of a boundary with this person. You're in the letting go process for sure here. That's good. And perhaps that boundary is with yourself, within yourself as well. You know, only allowing yourself to indulge in the thoughts of that hope and stuff only so often. What's coming up in, wow, okay. What's coming in the near future? You got the Fool, you've got a new start, taking a risk, stepping out into the unknown. Ace of Inspiration is an exciting, passionate new start. The Six of Inspiration here is about being seen to be the victor in all of this. So this could be like somebody new coming into your life. The Fool is new energy. It's a new start. It's new energy. Passionate new start. So this could be somebody coming in that is, yeah, completely different energy. That with someone to be that's happy to be seen with you with the Six of Inspiration, and there'll be a lot of passion in this as well. And start. Okay, so you've got great energies coming in the near future. What is this reading also about? It's about the Ten of Inspiration. So it's about putting those burdens down, but the Page of Inspiration as well. It's about kind of starting again, redreaming it, starting something new off, getting re-inspired, getting back to your passion again, or getting back to being open to meet somebody else. Yeah, that openness and that being open to being sparked up again and having that, having your spark lit again by somebody. That Page of Inspiration. So it's time for you to open up to new people, is what this is saying. And then you've got something really good coming. But what are your fears in all of this? Ace of Voices. So the Ace of Voices is about having clarity on the new start. So if this is a fear, then you might be fearing that you don't have clarity for that new start. You see, you've still got a bit of hope left for this one. So yeah, so you might be fearing that you don't have clarity for that new start. There's a feeling here of, imagine like you've got a door open, you've got one foot in the room and one foot out of the room. You're kind of looking out and you're looking back to and going, I don't know whether I should step outside. You know, one of those doors, like the fire doors, that once you're out of it, it's locked behind you. It feels like that. It feels like you've opened that door and you've looked out there and you've got one foot outside, but you haven't yet let go of the possibility of going backwards. Yeah, that's it. You haven't yet let go of the possibility of going backwards. You're still open to the possibility of going backwards, so you've not fully let go yet. Ace of Voices. So you're scared that like you haven't got the clarity on that forward movement. 6 of emotions, the past always drawing you back. So what about the past person? There's a nostalgia about that, and there's like a heart yearning about this 6 of emotions as well. Look at her face there. She's like, but yeah, but the past, but you know, my heart, you know, I love this person, and there's that going on. So your fears there is perhaps that's not going to go away, or that you'll never feel like that about someone else. But you've got some really good energies coming in here, so I think you probably will feel like that with someone else. And I think all evidence shows that you have loved again. What about your hopes? Fate. Okay, fated connection. Now, perhaps you'd always felt that this past person was a fated connection too. Perhaps that's why you held on so long with that idea about them. But you're wanting fate to step in here. Hang Muse. Change mind and to make a decision. So you do want to move on, right? So I think you guys, you're probably in this process of letting go at the moment and moving on from someone, especially moving on from the idea of them, and really wanting it to be out of your energy now, so that you don't get pulled backwards. You're like, how can I move forward? How can I fully let go of this and move forward? To change it and see things from a different perspective and make a definitive decision on that. It's almost like you need like permission from yourself, you know, to move forward. It's okay to move on. And sometimes that's because of fate, because we think, well, what if I'm going against the wishes of the universe and that was my fated person, you know? But it would work out if it was. It would be working out if it was. It wouldn't be so difficult. Things flow when it's like that. And when you've got a situation that isn't flowing, sometimes we've just got to face it, that it's not for us. So let's get your outcome cards out. I'm going to get a progression of 6 outcome cards out to find out what the outcome is and how it's going to go from there, you know? You do have really good energies coming in the near future. Ooh. So I'm revealing the first outcome card in this reading, but the rest of them I'll be revealing in the deeper dive read. So if you find that it is your story, you might want to get that for even more. But let's get the cards out first. In that deeper dive read, I'll also be getting cards out from these packs back here, these decks back here as well. Oh, wow. You've got good energies coming. Yeah, to find out more, to give you some guidance, we're getting cards out from those decks too. You want to get message cards out from your people as well. You've got somebody new coming in here, by the way. What else? Okay. Okay. So, your outcome cards, you've got 6 of them. First one is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is about tapping into your intuition more, but it's more than that. Because the High Priestess, she flows with life. There's a certain grace, there's a certain like quiet grace about her, like an inner knowing. It's like, this happens, and but trusting the universe inside, going, okay. She's not fighting life, the High Priestess. It's that peaceful state when you are trusting the universe. That's what it is, the High Priestess. She flows with it. She's okay with the unknown. So that is your outcome. You be in that energy, and then you've got all of this coming from that point. And so if you want to find out what those are, and you want that extended reading with all the rest of the guidance and timelines for the future too, you might want to get that deeper dive. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check those places. In that email, you'll see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the flower on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video. And when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like. Before you click off down there, click that subscribe button if you're new. Don't forget, leave a comment as well. That'll get you entered into that draw for that private reading with me. And if you've got any specific questions about your specific situation, you can get one of those 1-question readings with me on my website, behealing.com. And so if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I will see you in there very shortly. So if you chose the shell and the Tarot of Mystical Moments, I knew I was going to get it wrong, so I tried to get it right, but I got it wrong. Anyway, if you chose this one, then this one's for you. Let's give you a full Celtic Cross Tarot love spread. Find out what's going on in your love lives. Now, as usual, shells, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with it. If you find that it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. Don't forget to click like on this video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment while you're watching this for an entry into that draw. So, what's this reading all about? It's about the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about long-term. It's about commitment. It's about doing things by the book. When we're talking about relationships, that is, yeah, commitment, marriage, long-term kind of stuff. Also about spiritual lessons too. Could be about convention and traditional kind of things. What's crossing you in this? So are you guys trying to manifest a long-term partnership then? The one that you settle down with, that kind of thing? Or are you? Let me know in the comments below. What's crossing you in this? What's hindering you? Oh, the Emperor and Justice. Okay, so this is the female version of the Emperor. So that is the feminine, very much in the masculine kind of an energy. So there might be some controlling aspects of you that are hindering you here. And Justice. Okay, so Justice is like the true match. So while you were in the masculine energy as the Emperor, who would be your match then? Well, it could be a masculine, controlling perhaps. You could be attracting like a narcissistic kind of a masculine, or a very controlling kind of a masculine would be kind of a match to that energy. Or it could be, you could also be attracting a very feminine kind of a masculine too, to kind of balance up. But yeah, this reading seems to be about that a match. We attract matches to our current energies, right? So it's important when you meet someone, say if there's someone that's from the past, you look back in time of when you first met that person, that'll be when they were an energetic match. Now often, especially people that are watching me, you're probably like on your growth game is really good, right? And so you're changing and you're growing and you're learning along the way. And if we keep people from the past in our lives, sometimes it's good to acknowledge like, oh, the energies that we were in when we first met them. So all that being said, your current energy now is what we're talking about here. And the match for you there, the justice for you there, might not be exactly what it is that you're really wanting to bring in. So that's what this reading is about. How interesting. So how do things appear on the face of it in your love life? 9 of Wands, like wounded warrior, like you've been through some pain, and so now you're kind of coming out the end of that. This is like the end of the healing kind of a card, the 9 of Wands. So wounded warrior, so you might be a little bit battle torn kind of thing, a bit wary about what's coming in because of that, because of the healing that you've done. You might be a little bit, you know, tattered, torn, a bit bruised, a bit like, oh, what fresh hell is this when someone comes into your life kind of thing, rather than being excited and open and all of that. But that's how it appears on the surface. What's really behind that? And look how fast that Fool card came out. You're ready. You're ready for something new is what's really behind that. So even though you might feel like, what fresh hell is this? Or like, oh, the hell that I've just been through kind of thing, and I'm still wary and worn. This is saying, actually, the universe says that you're ready for something new here. You're ready for a risk, to take a risk to go into the unknown, to start something new. Now, wow, how have I not even noticed that before? But the path that she's walking on there, it's actually the back of a crocodile. Okay. but she thinks it's just this nice path, right? Interesting. Okay, recent past energies. Never seen that in that card before. How have I not noticed that face there? So, recent past energies, you've been undecided. Should I start dating again? I don't know if you guys are single or what, but you've been undecided perhaps about somebody, or undecided about dating, or, you know, it could be that, or what you're looking for, or where to look, or things like that. So, not sure what to do. Near future energies. 8 of Wands, that is knowing what to do. The 8 of Wands is like having purpose and drive and going for a specific thing. It can be about direct communication because of that, but it's like the directness of it, like a goal, like a target, like that is what I want, and that's what I'm going to go for, kind of thing. So yeah, things will become much clearer to you in the near future of what it is that you want. If you've been in this undecided kind of an energy, not sure what to do, you do have something new coming, because it appears that you've got to the end of some kind of a healing process that you've been going through. That might have been for some time as well. I'm hearing 7 years for some of you, like a 7-year healing period in your life, coming to the end of that now. And perhaps there's a need to realize that you're at the end of that now, because the Hierophant can be spiritual lessons, you see. Spiritual lessons about relationships, about yourself in relationships. Whatever you've been healing in the last 7 years is very important to your relationship journey, is what I'm hearing. So what else is this reading about? It's about the Hierophant, long-term relationships and spiritual lessons and all of that. Very much about your healing too. What else is this reading about? Heartbreak. It's about healing heartbreak. Okay, right. So why do we get our hearts broken? We get our hearts... People say we don't really get our hearts broken, we get our expectations broken, but we do actually get our hearts broken. But it has got something to do with our expectations. So let's not say it's black or white, it's expectations or heart. It's actually both. We hope that things are going to work out, and then it doesn't, and it breaks our heart. We have high hopes that we can do something and we can have a really good relationship, and we try to do that, and then it doesn't work out and it breaks our heart. Not just our expectations, it breaks our heart too. And this is why we need to heal, especially around relationships, because it does actually break our heart. Closes us down and all of that kind of thing. And I think that's why you've got the Emperor card there, the feminine version of the Emperor, because in fact, let's read that out. I want to read that out for you from that book. The feminine version of, oops, that's the Oracle deck that goes with it. The feminine version of the Emperor, just to give you a clue about that, because there might be something in it, you know, that gives you an aha about yourself. This version of the Emperor, let's hold it up for you. This version of the Emperor is represented by an impressive woman who stands in front of a huge palace. The castle structure represents the Emperor's legitimate claim to sovereign power. The gold crown on her head and the official attire that she's wearing show her as a major authority with a strong will. Long braids symbolize her considerable experience and intelligence. The Emperor is holding thin ropes which are tied to the people on the ground. The people are proportionately small and appear like powerless marionettes manipulated and controlled by the Emperor, but the Emperor is also protecting her subjects. Right, so there's an authority about you here too, and a kind of a masculine, in the masculine energy, although it's okay for you to be like that. You know, it's okay to embody that, but there's something about these minions kind of below, and it could be you have learned to be in this leadership energy, but it's kind of putting you above everyone else. I'm not saying it's putting you out of everyone's league. I'm saying that there might be a feeling in you to protect yourself. It could be to protect yourself, but it's more so of like, I can only embody this energy and feel good about myself if I imagine that everyone else is down there. There's a feeling here that you kind of need to open up, and you're doing it because of all of this hurt, this pain. The Nine of Wands and the Three of Swords here. the healing stuff that you've been doing and the pain that you've been through. But it's time to kind of realize at the end of the healing and that you don't need to have that, there's a defense about this. It's coming from a defensiveness. Do you know what I mean? It's like when somebody fully like knows their worth, then they don't need to push it. A good example of it is someone who respects themselves. They don't go about like demanding respect from everyone else. They respect themselves and they gain that healthy respect from other people too. Whereas someone who is like pushing people around and demanding respect, that is not someone that's fully respecting themselves, but it's someone that has been through being disrespected, and that's why they're like, I don't like being disrespected, so I'm going to demand respect. That on that healing path, right? And so that angsty part of it where you're railing against it and demanding it and all of that, that's the healing part of it. But you've got to the 9 of Wands here, which is the end of the healing. And so if you can recognize that part of the Emperor energy that I just read out, that is you, is a defensive part, the part of you that is kind of demanding that respect or whatever it is, you can let that go and be more in the feminine energy, because it's got something to do with your heart being broken. That makes sense? I hope it does. What are your fears? Your strength. So it's like you've outstronged you've become really strong, but some of it is a defense mechanism, and you're kind of fearing that too. So there's a part of you that recognizes that. And the 3 of Pentacles is collaborations. So planning ahead and collaborations, there's a part of you that fears that too. So I think you guys, you've like created a really nice life for yourself, and to let someone else in to plan with you and to shake that up might be a little bit cause a little fear in you. But you've got to know, right, that your true match is going to want the same things as you. And so they will add to your life and take you in an even better direction that you've already got. They're not going to take away from your life. So you might just be imagining being with someone that isn't really a match to you and how that would disrupt your life in that case. But yeah, I fear that you're kind of too strong, in control and all of that kind of thing. What are your hopes? Hopes. Ace of Cups, to fall in love. How sweet. Hoping to fall in love, and the Tower, for some disruption, for some, you know, a surprise, for someone new to come into your life, and yeah, disruption to your life. So a happy disruption. Fall in love. Okay, let's get your outcome cards out. So I'm going to get a progression of outcome cards out so we can get the full story here. I'm going to reveal the first one in this reading, but the rest of them, the other 5 or however many there's going to be, I will be revealing in the deeper dive read. So that extended reading. In that deeper dive read, I'll also be getting cards out of those decks back there as well to give you some advice, to find out about anyone that's coming into your life as well, what they're about, get possible timelines, or get messages from them too. Okay, what next? Ooh, wow. Okay, and then that, and then that. Okay, so you got 6 cards out there. The first one is the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is about working and getting results back from that work. So putting all the hard work that you've put into yourself, like especially the healing stuff that you've been doing, I feel like you're still kind of tying up loose ends from that. Because when we realize we've got this defensiveness going on still, and it's, you know, we might think, no, that's just a part of my character. And some of it might be, but some of it is still that defensiveness. But once you realize what that is and you let that go, I feel like that that inner work of doing that is when you're going to get the results of that. The 8 of Pentacles isn't just investing in yourself and all of that, it's getting the results from that work that you've put in. So as I said before, it could be a 7-year period, you guys, that you've been healing yourself, and that all of that work, it is going to come good. It is going to come good. But it feels like the last little bit of this healing is to notice what that that defense mechanism is that has you in that. And then you've got this coming after. So if you want to find out what that is and you want the rest of it, then you might want to get that deeper dive for even more. So if this sounds like it is your story, it could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that deeper dive. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the shell on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device, and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like. Before you click off down there, click that subscribe button if you're new, and leave a comment, because that'll get you an entry into the draw. And if you've got any specific questions to ask me, remember I do give those one question readings from my website, behealing.com, so you can book in for one of those, and I'll do that for you. So if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I will see you in there very shortly.